All right, let's see if I can get you in here, people. All right, let's invite some people. Hello, everyone. All right, let's see. Hi, Francine. How are you? All right. Waiting for some more people to get on, and then we're going to do our hidden scars. As always, the devil is always trying to mess up my hidden scars. All right. I'm waiting for, there you go. Hi, Monica. Hold on, let me see if I can. Monica asked to join the live. So it won't let me invite you. Can y'all hear me? Can everyone hear me? Somebody let me know. Monica, can you ask to be shared? Thank you, Eartha. Okay, I saw Monica. Where is she? Monica, you still on here? Do you see the request to join button? Let me see. Okay, do you see the request? Okay, give you one more. Okay. And y'all know every time I do a hidden scars, the devil tries to mess me up. But I'm gonna keep pushing forward. Yeah, it should say request to join. It might have a picture of a person and another picture in front of it. Um, okay, there you go. I think. Hold on. There we go. All right. All right. Now that we got the main person on here. All right. She's connecting now. There she is. Hi.
Hey, let me remove everybody's comments out
How
the
are
way.
you?
I'm well. All is well. How are you today?
I'm doing fine. Um,
Great,
so for
great.
those of you who are joining, I'm going to give her a little intro, and then I'm going to introduce our speaker for the day, and she's going to do whatever God leads her to do. So today we're talking with a cancer survivor or overcomer, as she calls herself, and I love that word so much better. Um, and just so you know, cancer is one of the big topics for especially women, especially Black women. Not that it doesn't hit other races or people, it does. But 1 in 8 women are expected to, get invasive breast cancer in a lifetime. Men do get it, but it's 1 in 833 men in a lifetime. They're predicting in 2021 that 281,000 new cases of invasive breast cancer is expected to be diagnosed in women and 4,000 in men. But I'm not going to waste our time because um, I want you to hear the testimony today. So Monica is like a sister to me. I've been adopted into the family. At least I've adopted myself into the family. I am real good friends with her older sister. It's how I met her. And I just love their family. Monica is the mother of two, I believe. If I'm wrong, you can correct me when you get on. And she's the baby of four girls. She has awesome mom and dad. I love them. Her whole family is exceptional. But Monica is a cancer survivor. I believe she was diagnosed in 2018. But she's going to tell you more about that. And the story that she has, the story, I don't like to use story. The testimony that she's going to give today is is it's time for people to hear, and she's ready to share it. So Monica, you can go ahead and do your own thing now.
All right. First, I just want to take the time to thank your nonprofit organization for giving me an opportunity just to share my testimony, to share about the scar that I have. And I just want to thank you. Hopefully, that whatever I do share, I hope that it blesses someone, somewhere in some shape or form. As long as God gets the glory, that's all that matters. Um,
Amen.
again, I just want to say again, thank you, Yolanda. This is one of the second events that I have been to. Um, the way I connected with Yolanda was from my second to oldest sister, Renee. We call her Tony, and Tony is always anytime we're all like that. Me and my sisters. It's four girls. Is The oldest is Karen Dee Dee. The second is Renee Tony. The third is Eartha Dana. And I'm the baby girl, Monica. Even though the oldest thinks she's the baby girl. Not true. But my sisters, we always try to share information amongst one another to encourage one another because we do know as women, and no, not as women in general, and also as Black women, there are quite a few different, odds that against us. Is quite a few different um, situations that we deal with. And the one situation that I end up dealing with, I mean, I have been through quite a few different scars in my life, but this particular scar has stood out the most. Um, and it just has proven to me again that my God is awesome. Our God is awesome. Just to share my testimony about my scar, I was diagnosed back in December of 2017. It was right before Christmas. I was diagnosed with stage 3 breast cancer. I hate to say the word cancer now, but I guess I have to get uncomfortable. Sometimes God has you uncomfortable, and I'm uncomfortable with saying the word now, but I'm speaking it. But I was diagnosed with stage 3. Um, that was back in December 2017. Um, how I found out, ladies, I got in the shower that night. I think it was on a Wednesday night, if I recall right. I got in the shower, and as I'm in the shower each time, I give myself self breast examinations to the best of my ability. And when I was in the shower, I just remember screaming, ah, like I knew exactly what it was when I touched it. And my son, like Miss Yolanda has stated to you guys, I have two sons. My oldest son is Talik McMillan. Talik is, like she stated, he graduated from college back in 2019 from North Carolina A&T Aggie Pride. And my youngest son, Josiah Juju, the young prophet, his name is, like I said, Josiah, we call him Juju. Juju is now 12 years old. Juju is in the seventh grade. When I was diagnosed, Juju was only 10 years old. And as I stated, I was a single parent, and my oldest son was away in college. So it was me and my son here, and my son had like ran to the bathroom like, Mommy, are you okay? I'm like, yeah, everything's fine. Put on the motherly hat. Everything's fine, son. You can go ahead back. Mommy's fine. And I automatically prayed that night, and then I automatically called my doctor's office, my local doctor's office. And my local doctor's office is very good about letting you walk in, doing walk-ins. I wanted to see you. And I expressed to my doctor's office that I felt some unusual, and I really wanted to come in, and that wouldn't sit well with me until I came in there. So they told me to come directly in. I went into the doctor's office, and there was a nurse practitioner. Her name is Linda Mango. I think she's a doctor now. She has a doctorate. And she seen me, and she actually, before she studied for her doctorate, she was doing her um, excuse me, with the chemo brain right now, but she was doing her dissertation on African American women with breast cancer. And she was the actual nurse practitioner that I seen. So she automatically had sent me for my mammogram to VCU Massey Center, which is in Richmond, near somewhere up there near Stony Point. And I went there. The She had made me an appointment. I think they had got me in the following week. So I went to my appointment, and they did the whole shebang and went through the whole process, which I had to go back the next day. When I went back the next day, my team went with me the next day. I think it was like my sisters and my mom, my dad, my sons, everybody went with me. And that's when they told us the news and told me that I was that it was actually because they had to do a biopsy that day, and told me actually it was that diagnosis. So my sisters and my mother, everybody had a whole bunch of questions, and I guess my only question was to each doctor was, my question was, do you have faith in God? Do you believe in God? Do you have faith? That was the only question that I had. All the other questions my family had. That was the question that I had. And so from that point, I had went. You're entitled, ladies, to a second opinion. Kings and queens, you are entitled to a second opinion. So I went with a second opinion. I heard everything that VCU Massey Center had explained to me. I had knew some family members, my aunt Rosa, and my I think Grandma Nervy. I don't know if Grandma Nervy went down there or not, but I know Mima did. And my mom and my family um, was very happy about the services that my family were receiving at Duke Cancer Center. So I went to Duke Cancer Center, got my second opinion, and I actually fell in love down there. I asked each of the doctors, because you see so many as you go through this process. You see so many doctors, so many nurses, just so many different people from the medical field. And every single person that I seen, that was my question. My question was, do you have a relationship with the Lord? Do you have faith? Each person that God aligned in my walk, in my journey, all had some type of faith in Him. Okay, whether they were, uh, a high end holy roller or low end, they still had faith. That's all that mattered to me. That they had faith, and that faith was much bigger than a mustard seed. So, so I went with my second opinion at Duke. I have found out from Duke. At first, when I was at VCU Massey Center, they were telling me maybe it was a stage 2. By the time I went to Duke, they did so much thorough examination of me. They actually found not only a lump in my left breast, which was the one that I found. They found a smaller one behind that my left breast, and then they found another small one in my lymph node up under my arm. So, and then when they test you, when you go for this, they test your strands. They test the tumors in each area, right? So in each area that they tested, they found that every single area was different. It was different strands. It was just unusual. And I was like, yeah, God made me special like that, just trying to think of the positive in the situation. Um, and so they got their plan together. They told me what they recommended. They got, the group of doctors. I prayed on it. I had a whole team of my whole family praying for me. Um, and I got through it. But the only reason I got through it was because I thank God for my family. I thank God that my for my ancestors, elders. I thank God for that relationship that they allowed for me to have with the Lord. I didn't find out about God because, I mean, I know they took me to church, they took me where I needed to go, but I had to experience them for myself. So I appreciate the upbringing, because they say you raise a child, they come back to it. So I appreciate um, my mother making sure that she sent me to church. My mother always, she went to a church called Poplar Mount, and my father went to a church called First Baptist. And I appreciate the times when my mom was going to her church. because my father wanted us to go to church with him as well. So, my father's a provider. He's the lead in the household. So we went to my father's church. And I'm so glad that my mother took the time to make sure she sent me to church, whether it's by my father, not at the first time, not my father, but my Aunt Louise or my papa or somebody like that. I thank God that I had parents that took the time to just share the word with me and let me find God for myself. Um, because if it wasn't for that upbringing, I don't know what would have happened in this journey. I do know that it was because of the Lord. That's the only thing I can tell you. It was by His grace and His mercy that He had some type of purpose for me. I'm still I recognize my purpose, but I'm still understanding my purpose as well. But the only way I got through was because my faith was much bigger than a mustard seed. It could have been like a mustard seed. I don't know, but I had the faith and I believed and I trusted God. I I um I had so much of a great support system. When I said I had a great support system, my family foremost, automatically, my mom and dad took me to every single appointment until I had to make them not go with me, because my mom and dad is the type of people in our community. They're not just looking out for Monica. My mom and dad was not only running Monica back and forth to doctor's appointments, they were running me back and forth to doctor's appointments. My mom was running her best friend, Miss Price, back and forth to doctor's appointments, or whomever in their church community, whoever in the community who needed them. My mom and dad are constantly not trying to just toot their horn because they're my parents, but I've seen it since I've been a little bit of baby. My mom and dad in the trenches always being helpful to the whether it's family or to the community. And so my mom and dad, first of all, like I stated, my sisters, of course, they are my armor bearers. My sisters all stood in the trench. They all supported me. They took turns going with me to my doctor's appointments. Um, I had family, I mean, aunts, cousins, different people like, that will go and volunteer to go with me. My coworkers from my job was so supportive. I had friends, I had associates, I even had my enemies, I think, was praying for me. It was just, I had a good support system. I mean, they played their part while I was on my journey, and I really felt that way. I really felt like even my enemies were praying for me. You might have had a few that prayed against you, but I had a powerful team that lifted me up in the trenches. And during the process, um, I just had to keep my faith in. I just kept my faith in God. It was only by Him. I kept scriptures. I kept reading healing scriptures all the time, and I still read healing scriptures now. Um, one of my sister good friends, Minister Patricia Harrell, she had laid in my spirit, Monica, I want you to read Psalm 91 every morning you wake up and every night before you go to bed. That scripture still speaks to me. That's a long scripture, and I know that scripture by heart now because that's a scripture that has gotten me through the past since 2017, and I share that with anyone. And not only when I say support system, I also had individuals who had went through the journey, had went through the battle before, who gave me inspiration and who told me when things were happening. I wasn't surprised when my body was doing certain things because they had already forewarned me or told me. So I had beautiful warrior sisters out there such as Lakeisha Walker, Angela Hutchison. Um, I watched not only Mima, I say Mima, rest in peace to Lorraine Hardy. Um, I watched my Aunt Rosa Davis, rest in peace, Aunt Rosa. I watched my grandma Nervy, rest in peace, grandma. I watched so many different people that have been through it, and I tried to take a piece from everybody. Um, from everybody, and everybody that I mentioned, they went through the process gracefully, and I tried to model the same thing that they taught me during their journey. Um, was I was I um, were I afraid? You know, um, I don't know if I can use the word afraid, but I was more concerned about my youngest son, Josiah, Because if God didn't do anything else for me, it was fine, because God has done so much for me. He still has done so much for me that if he decided not to allow for me to still be here with you today, talking to you today, that was okay with me. But it was the only thing, I guess, that was not okay settled with any mother is leaving your child behind. Who's going to raise your child like you raise your child? Nobody's going to raise your child like you. I mean, nobody. I don't care if it's your mama, your daddy, your sister, your brother, anybody. Nobody's going to raise your child like you're going to raise your child. So that was one area that I pleaded with God for. Um, and I was fortunate enough that he still has allowed for me to still to be here to see my young King Josiah, as he still grow up. I wasn't being selfish thinking about, okay, with Talik, but Talik was 19, 20 years old. I felt like Talik had, I had did my best with Talik, and I wanted to do the same for Josiah. And I, in the process, I got to, Josiah was my main prayer warrior. Okay, that was my real armor bearer. Like, I don't care, like anybody else, my youngest son Josiah, how pure he was, that was my armor bearer. I taught my son during the process how to find his own secret place. His own secret place when he felt like when he couldn't when he couldn't express what he needed to express to his mommy, when he couldn't express anything to friends or whoever may ask him or family. I made sure I taught my son how to go to his own little secret place and have his own conversations with the Lord. I told him that, I didn't mean to put so much on him, but he was the one who kept me grounded. He was the one who really had me covered. But and that was a blessing. I mean, I appreciated that. But during the whole process, I had to reposition myself in a lot of things. I had to remove myself from negative people. I had to keep people around me that uplifted me and spoke life into me. Anybody who had a pity party, they had to be away from me. I needed people who believed in the same thing that I was believing in, that I should live and not die, that by his stripes that I'm healed. Okay, I needed people who had that same mindset as me. I ain't need nobody with a pity party thinking that it's over. No, you got to go in the name of Jesus. So I kept that. But to be honest with you, as I went through the process, it was it was life changing. Um, you would think that even as I go through right now, that I would have, how can I say it? Um, that I could be doing quite a few things now better just from that life changing process. But we serve a mighty God who loves us unconditionally. We serve a God who's a God of second chances. We serve a God who's not like man. We serve a God who, how we as sisters, we can get mad at one another over something simple. You know what I mean? And have
Mhm.
a
Mhm.
whole attitude, and we forget about everything that God has brought us through. You know what I'm saying? And
Yes.
we cause, like, even after this process, I'm gonna tell you, after this process, when the devil figured out, oh, I couldn't take her out this way, oh, he sent his other people after me. He sent people my way. I was targeted for so many different things. It's things that I speak up on, because I'm all for what's right. That's just what's in me. That's what I was raised, and I'm always going to speak up for what's right. So I had some battles that I was fighting I shouldn't have been fighting. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But everything happens for a reason. I tell people now, the hardest part is now. The hardest part wasn't when I was going through it. It wasn't when, you know, you per se my scar, if you could see it or not. Wasn't per se when I had my port in me, when they were sticking toxic chemo in me. When I was sick, when I couldn't get out of bed, when my son had to help me out of bed, when my son had to help me to the restroom with my 10-year-old son. Um, Times when I couldn't eat, and my mom always made sure she was just her. My father just was, I just can't even thank them enough. Um, get kind of emotional just thinking about, the love and the love that my parents carried me, had me through. Um, but right now, right now is the time, when people were praying for me before, I think now is the time I need those prayer warriors to be praying for me now. Because now is the time that you go through, it's a lot of different changes. People don't understand. People don't, I mean, the people who understand are the people that have been through it. A lot of people who haven't been through it, you know how they say you can't tell a person what to experience
Mhm.
unless you walked in their shoes.
Mhm.
Only the
Mhm.
warriors out there and other overcomers out there can understand what I'm talking about. It's just different. Um, is different. Chemotherapy. Before when I said if I ever got diagnosed, I would never do chemo. Don't say what you'll never do, because when you're in a situation, you don't know what God, you just don't know. So I always say, don't never say what you never do. Some things in my life I said I never do, but I did, you know, and I took that
Mhm.
chemo, and people are so people are like, well, you taking that vaccine? If I wasn't scared of the toxic chemo, what, you think I'm not gonna take the vaccine? Yeah, I took the vaccine. So I'm gonna encourage other people that can to take it if you can. It's not about, it may not be about you. It may be about a family member or a friend. Um, if you take that could help save that life. Because I have lost quite a few people that I know from this, from the nasty, from the virus. And I got people that still mourning, people that still burying people over this nasty virus. So sometimes we gotta look beyond ourselves, for the call.
Mhm.
But
Yes.
getting back on the subject, I'm sorry to get off on that.
That's
But like I was
okay.
saying, now is the time that, them prayer warriors, I will need them praying for me now, because now is the hardest time. And when I tell you it's the hardest time, I like to be transparent, okay? The hardest time is, not everybody out here now. When I say everybody, a lot of people, like, I feel like God had to humble a lot of us, everybody. Um, a lot of people are dealing with anxiety and depression
Mhm.
and things of that sort.
Mhm.
We got to talk about these type of things.
Mhm.
And
Yes.
a lot of my peers that have been through what I've been through, they're struggling with it too, whether they hide it good or not. And they love the Lord too. It's okay to love the Lord, and it's okay to say I'm not okay too. I want you to know that. Okay, people think just because you love the Lord that you are um, invincible to anything that may happen, what other people are going through. No, you
Mhm.
you are one of the biggest ones that's probably going through it. you know. So
Yes.
that's one of the things I had to that I'm dealing with. The anxiety part of it. Being open and being open about that, because God has delivered me before. In my past, I had dealt with postpartum depression with both of my kids. Um, so mental health matters to me. It matters to me. Um, it really is. It's a big issue. A lot of people don't like to talk about it. They think that um, they think that it's not okay to talk about it. They think that they're supposed to have it. They think they're supposed to keep it in, but it's not good for us. So it's okay not to be okay as long as you don't stay there. Okay. Um, and that's what I'm trying now as I go through this process of the overcoming process. I got my third year report that there's no evidence of the C word, and to God be all the glory for that. But this is, I know I'm getting kind of like tongue twisted just thinking about everything, trying to get so many thoughts out. But I just want to say if you keep the faith, if you keep people around you that want the best for you, um, but if you pray, I mean, pray till you just can't pray no more. I think prayer move mountains. um I say, if you have to go through what I'm going through, it's okay to cry. It's okay not to be okay. Find you other warriors that have been through it. They can help you go through it. They can tell you it may be different with both of your it may be different with what you've been through, but it's okay to ask questions because it may be similar. Um, I tell a lot of cancer survivors what was told to me: when you start going through the process, you might not want to eat with metal. You might want to eat with plastic because metal may take your taste buds away. You might want to get you a good vitamin. I recommend NutriBurst by Total Life Changes. Um, I recommend vitamins, a lot of vitamins. Um, I recommend if you go through chemo that you drink a lot of water to flush that toxic stuff out of your body. Um, but one of the main things that I miss, and I can't believe that I miss even mentioning this, is that I praise my way through. Okay? When I tell you I praise my way through everything, every woman's empowerment, every empowerment, church, because one point in time, I'm gonna be quite honest with you guys, because I like to be honest. I was kind of mad with my pastor. I'm being honest with you. Look, I was mad with
Okay.
my pastor because I was like, man, my pastor don't call me. Man, my pastor don't even, he supposed to be the head of the church, right? I'm being honest with you guys. I'm
Mhm.
like, I'm mad with, like, I'm kind of frustrated with my pastor right now. He don't call me. He don't come past here. But then, my family and friends had a fundraiser, type of service for me. And my pastor came. And when my pastor spoke, and he had tears in his eyes, and my pastor stated that, I encouraged him more than that he could encourage me. So, because I
Mm.
still was going to church every Sunday, I had to praise my way through this thing,
Mhm.
like even as sick
Mhm.
as I wasn't missing a beat, whether I was even just dragging myself in there, you know, I made sure I
Mhm.
was in church. So he made sure he explained to me that I was more of an encouragement to him than than what I needed for him to be for me, and that blessed my soul. I'm like, well, okay, God,
Yes.
I see you. The whole time I'm up here thinking I'm fighting a battle, thinking of my pastor not checking up on me the whole time because he see me dragging myself into church and just reaching out and just still being me. That I encouraged him during the process.
Mm. Mm.
So,
Uh-huh.
and I asked God to forgive me for me being frustrated with my pastor because eventually it came to be a blessing for me. It blessed my soul to hear my pastor tell me that. It blessed my soul to see how many people from the community that came out, from the sheriff to different churches all around, to my, like, my road dogs, Pastor Marsha Hayes, and Valerie Burke and Alexis Burke and Geese and all of them that blessed me, to my sisters too. It was just so many different people, to one of my friends, Misha Anderson. It was just so many different people. It was a pastor, Fuller. It was just so many different people. I just can't even name. I was just like so amazed to see people. They always tell people you give people their flowers where they can smell them. And I
Yes.
remember every single person who gave me flowers that allowed for me to smell them, and I'm so
Mm.
thankful and I'm so grateful for those people. I'm so thankful and I'm so grateful for my family that who they've been through hell and high waters with me, you know, and I'm thankful that
Mhm.
they still are, that they can put aside their feelings and understand, even when they're going through their own mess, that they can put aside their feelings and still love me unconditionally and still be there for me as I go through what I'm going through. And I try to be the same, but I probably could never amount up to what my family has done for me. I probably could never tell people how appreciative I am. I am blessed and highly favored. A lot of people don't
Hallelujah.
have what I have. They don't have their parents still. They don't have all their siblings still, or all of their nieces and nephews. I'm blessed,
Mhm.
and I just thank God for that. I'm blessed with great friends. I'm blessed with my sister friends such as you, Yolanda. I'm just blessed. Um, I'm blessed and highly favored. I'm blessed for the pastors that sent me anointing oil because I anoint my head to the bottom of my feet every morning when I wake up, and might be
Amen.
every night before I go to bed. Not Tony, I be calling my sister Tony all the time. Tell Bishop I said send me some more of that oil down here, you know. But and I can't forget. Wow, Pastor um, Patrice Thornhill and Pastor Jessica Jones. I can just start naming people that have been a blessing in my life, and I thank God for them. And I don't put them above the divine connector, the main connector, but I thank
Amen.
God for aligning them, putting them in
Mhm.
place to give me whatever they had for me that God gave them. I thank God for their
Amen.
obedience. I thank God for them standing for me. I thank God for the unanswered prayers. And I just thank God for other people that have been through like me, like Cicely Marsh, um, like my friend Marika Peterson, who got me through. I failed to mention her name. A young lady named Regina Perm, who has a nonprofit organization out in Petersburg or Richmond. a young lady named Monica Austin Cox. Um, it's just so many. If I could forget some, I apologize. And for the ones that are going through right now, such as Latoya Peterson, if she's still going through, I'm not for sure, but I know by the stripes she is healed. Such as Sandra Pearson. Um, it's just so many. And if I forget them, I apologize. Charge it to the head and not the heart. But I just thank you. I just hope that something that I shared, I hope that it may be a blessing to someone or has been a blessing to someone. The only thing I can say, you gotta pray, you gotta praise, you gotta push your way through. You gotta have faith. It's sometimes you have to remove yourself from as you go through. You might got to remove yourself from people. It's okay. You can love people from a distance. Just know it's okay. Sometimes you got to put those people on timeout as you go through because you don't need that
Mhm.
negative spirit weighing down on you. You have to be at a place where you can find that peace that surpasses all understanding, and that's only in the Lord's arms and hands. So I ask that each of you that's listening to me right now, that you continue to keep me uplifted in prayer, that I may continue to press on to find the purpose, more of the purpose that God has for me, that I may fulfill that, before all my work is done. I'm not perfect. I'm far from perfect. But I do love the Lord, you know, and I love the Lord with all of my heart, my soul, forever and always. And I thank God that He loves me unconditionally. I thank God that He has
Yes.
not put me out of His hand. I thank God that He's not through with me yet. And I thank God that whoever's here joining me today, I thank God for you too. And I hope that whatever burden that may be weighing down on your heart, that God sees you through. I know we're going through a lot right now. God is not playing right now. He's giving us chance after chance after chance. And even little old me, I need to take heed to it too, because I'm not perfect. Nobody's perfect. We fight against our flesh every single day. But it's all
Yes.
about being open and being transparent to others, because you may be open and transparent to them and they can help you in some way and you can be helpful to them. And and last but not least, all of my youth that I work with in a program that I work with, they help me to get through too. They were very concerned about Miss Monica. They always checked up on me, and they still check up on me. And they also gave me the passion to live too. I should live and not die, because
Oh,
I wanted to make sure to show them that you know some people, they may not believe, but maybe once they see that light in you, they might believe, you know. So keep on shining your light and keep allowing God to use you, and could just continue to press on. It's okay not to be okay, and don't judge yourself because you don't know all the scriptures like the next one, or you're not as just holy as the next one. You just keep on pressing on. God's going to see you through. You just keep your hand in God's hand, and I know without a shadow of a doubt that He will cover you. Thank you.
amen. Amen. Oh my gosh. It's so I was writing notes. You might have seen me over here. I was writing notes. Um, faith is a big thing for me. You brought that up. Um, I'm speechless at your main question being what is your relationship with God? Other than, well, what are you going to do for me? What are you going to, how long is it going to take? You didn't, those weren't your questions. Your relationship with God was what was important in you. That's something I don't think we think about when we going through, you know. Um, I agree. It's okay to say I'm not okay. Um, put that pride to the side and let people know it's okay not to be okay. Just don't stay in it, like you said. Um, I love your support system. That's one thing I love about your family. I know without a doubt the support system that you have, and I know it made a big impact. Um, it's just you just said so many things that just touched me. Um, I could have got you to do a do an
Look,
intro for this whole program.
yeah, I'm so sorry, but like I had to tell you too, one of the questions that I remember the Lord felt like the Lord was asking me during this whole process. He kept on saying, "Okay, you told everybody you trust me. Now I'm putting you to the test. Do you really trust me?"
Mm,
Yeah. He was like, "Do you
mm,
really trust me now? Okay, you've been telling everybody you
mm-hmm,
trust the Lord, you love the Lord, trust the Lord with all your heart, and lean not to your own understanding. Now I'm putting you to the
mm-hmm.
test, Monica. Do you really
Yeah.
trust me?" And I told him I trust him. I really do.
Amen.
No matter what went against
Amen.
me, because if he brought me through some things, he brought me back from my past. Hey, this C word won't name. You know, I was
Right.
ready for the fight.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. I love your transparency. This all started because I had to become transparent in starting all this. And it's been a walk. A lot of times I can't go back and see the videos because I'm going to critique myself. And this isn't about critiquing myself. This is about being transparent. And when you're
Yeah.
being transparent, it's not about, having the perfect look, the perfect lipstick, you try to look decent, but it's not about that. And when I go back to look at them, I critique myself because I want to be the best at whatever I'm doing.
Right.
So I thank you for being transparent. I thank you for all the things that you said. I thank you for the advice that you gave to those who may come up against this battle because like they came up with something for vaccine for COVID. They haven't come up with anything for cancer. There's so many things out there they haven't come up with. So we're gonna still be fighting them, but we need to fight with our best fight. Self-exam, ladies. Men, she said that she found it because she examined herself every night. We need to make a habit of it, so that we can catch it in time. Um, you spoke about being a single parent. I want to mention that our next community event, we're trying to do something for single parents. We don't know exactly how it's going to work, but every quarter, we want to do at least one community event in the rural communities. Um, so we're looking at doing something for single parents. Um, so who knows? We may have something to ask. I may need your help with that. Um, so I found that interesting that you brought that up when that was something that God already has me working on. Um, I love that the warriors in your family. Um, I can see you having to kick your mom and dad out so that so that they can get some rest. I know they didn't rest, but I can see that happening.
Yeah.
Um, your sisters are awesome. I'm not even blood, and the support and the love that I get from them is so strong and so real. So to be a blood child, it's like wow. I mean, um, I appreciate you coming on. I appreciate you talking. You talk about mental health. Um, I want to talk about that in some episodes. I don't know how that's gonna work out. I might need you for that. Um, it's just
Hmm.
so many opportunities that I see in this, and God doesn't tell me where He has me going with this, but you just spoke on so many of the things that He's been telling me. So I want to put it out there that I'm gonna be needing you, I think. um, because I I know a lot, but I don't know everything, and it's good to hear from other people, because we may have the same ending, but we may not have the same walk to the ending.
Yes.
Um, so I want everyone to keep Monica in prayer. Keep everyone in prayer. Anxiety and depression are very, very real right now.
Yeah.
Um, and with COVID being out here and people having to be isolated and quarantined, the numbers are higher. I know. I've been
Yes.
having my own battles with it myself, so I know it's a lot harder right now. Um, what else? I want to mention that March 6th at 3 p.m., I have another cancer survivor coming on. Um, Her name is Tammy Torres. Her and her husband would be on. Tammy and her husband have been married, I think, less than 5 years. And the beginning of their marriage, she was diagnosed for the first time. Um, Last year, she was diagnosed the second time during COVID, um, and contracted. Her and her husband both got COVID. So they share their story. It's
Wow.
another perspective of cancer, another testimony of cancer, and to throw COVID in there with the cancer. I know it's going to be a great testimony. So
Yes.
I hope that you all come back and join me. If you have a testimony that you need to share, let me know. I need other voices other than my own. I need other voices other than Monica's. We all have a testimony, but if you're not ready to share it, that's fine too. But God is going to lay some hands on some people that's on here. and you need to speak up. You need to do your part. You need to do your purpose.
Yeah.
And I'm going to close with this scripture because I've been looking at it and reading it. Isaiah 41, 10. So do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. And he's holding up a lot of people with that righteous right hand right now. Monica, again, thank you. Everyone who's on here, thank you. Please share it to your Facebook pages and whoever you think may need this word. I know a lot of people were touched. Have a good day.
Thank you so much. It was an honor to be here with you today, and thank you for allowing me just to share, what I had. I might have was talking a little bit too much, but thank you so much.
Never too much, just right.
And may God continue to bless your nonprofit. Before we go, do you want to give your information if someone wanted to be a blessing to your nonprofit as you bless the communities?
Sure. I do Cash App, so it's JUSTBUINC, just BU Incorporated. My PayPal is the same, paypal.me/, just BU Incorporated. The only word spelled out is just and INC. So
Okay,
I will
great.
post that here.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we greatly appreciate any help. Going forward, I know that I'm not going to only need financial help, but I'm going to need some bodies. So if you have the need and want to put your name down on my volunteer list, you can do that. And I'll call you according to what I have going on and see of your availability. We do work mostly in the rural communities. Um, Petersburg, Greensville, Emporia area, Mecklenburg, Lunenburg, Nottoway, Charlotte County. Those are the ones I'm starting with and praying for. Those are the ones God gave me, um, because you can get a lot of stuff in Richmond, but that stuff stops at a certain point and it doesn't come out into to the rural areas. And because I am a rural girl, I want to bring it back out there. So um, I need help. Um, and if I feel like God sent you to help, then you're there. If I don't, I'm sorry. I'm trying to follow the lead of the Lord. I'm not trying to find Yolanda's lead. And it has nothing to do with my personal relationship with you. It's all about my personal relationship with Him. So thank you very much, Monica. You're always
Amen.
supporting me.
Thank you too. Thank you again, and may God continue to bless your nonprofit abundantly. And thank you for
Thank
being
you.
a blessing to our communities.
Thank you.
All
Bye bye.
right, y'all have a blessed one. Remember, uplift each other, queens and kings. Much love.